Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're going to talk about what happens when you become too successful. You know, when you're a failure, a lot of people tend to make fun of you. They tend to avoid you. They say you shouldn't, you don't deserve to be supported. They say a lot of mean things, right? So you kind of think like, hey, um, maybe once I become successful, the opposite will happen. And one of the saddest things that you'll find out about life is that people will do the exact same thing to you as you become successful, because most people want to feel superior about themselves. So when you're a failure and they're making fun of you, or they're making you feel bad because you're in hard times, it's because they want to feel superior. It's a sense of superiority over you, right? That's why when you're poor, um they do that, right? And then as you become more successful in life, you'll almost notice you'll notice that they almost do the same thing. And that's because they feel threatened, so they can't feel a sense of superiority over you. So what they do is try to do things that essentially pull you down. And one of the things that you might be thinking is like, hey, I know how hard it was when I was in the struggle bus, right? I know how hard it was. And if you spend like 10 hours a day or 10 to 12 hours a day grinding it out, and it's like getting nowhere, and then you finally reach your breakthrough, you realize, whoa, I spent 10 to 12 hours, kind of like Doctor Strange in Infinity War, where he's like going through all the scenarios in his head, and then realize there's like one scenario where there's a success, right? Like 14 million scenarios. That's kind of what happens when you become successful. When you're originally a failure, you're like that in that Doctor Strange moment in the Avengers Infinity War, right? And so you're grinding out 10 to 12 hours, trying every single thing, seeing what sticks to the wall, and then you kind of get your breakthrough moment, and it's like, whoa, this actually worked. I can't believe this actually worked. I'm actually, I don't want other people to go through the pain that I went through, because it's really hard. So I'm only help anybody who's wanting it, right? And then what happens is, as you become more successful, most people can't see the struggles and failures that you went through. They just see you at that exact moment you are. So they think that you are cut from a different cloth or something, even though you probably started out worse than most people you're dealing with. And because most people can't see that, right? Your success brings shame to them. Your success brings shame to them, right? And that's why when you're too good, people will avoid you. They will avoid you. It's inevitable, right? Most people are average. Just by definition of the word average, most people are average. And so the way that average quote average people work is that when they see a person who's doing worse than them, they use that as an opportunity to feel superior to that person. And then when they see a person who's doing better than them, they feel threatened, so they try to bring down that person. That's just kind of the sadness of human nature. And the reason why I make these videos is because as you make more money, okay, as you do things that kind of increase your value, like eat healthier, right? Like you look at the restaurants that probably surround your neighborhood, they probably clog up your arteries, like McDonald's, IHOP, right? Never eaten at IHOP before, but I look at the menu, I'm like, holy bologna, holy balls. You know what I mean? And so as you take care of yourself, right? As you do what's best for you, you probably have the heart, probably like I do, where I honestly think, here's the thing. I will do my best to help most people, but most people don't want my help. And it's not like they don't know that I can help them, but their pride and ego prevents them from asking for my help. They know I'm too good. In fact, I've had people literally tell me that you're way too good, and then never ask me for my help. Like, it is the strangest thing. It's kinda like the velocity banking poker face, right? Like, I will literally help you, and that's because this is the average person's experience when they ask for help, is that they get taken advantage of. And so when they see someone, again, I'm not like the most pure-hearted person. I'm actually quite lazy. But here's the thing, I'm lazy but effective. So a lot of people will write me an essay like, "What about this?" And I write like two sentences, and I know I solved their problem, right? Or you know what I mean? But most people, they'll when you're too good, they'll just avoid you. They'll just avoid you, right? It's kinda sad but true. Sad but true. So this is why, like, at this stage of my life, I don't really feel like I can help too many people. I'm gonna be honest with you all, just because people avoid people who can help them. And as you become more successful, especially if people saw you start at the bottom, just realize your success brings shame to most people. And just kind of give you an example. Again, um, this is more about fitness rather than like financial success, but it's all the same side of the coin, right? Or is that the way you say it? I don't even know. I don't care. All right. So basically, it says why people, this is an article from modernhealthmonk.com, why people will hate you for being healthy, happy, and successful. And actually, let me do this. Let me just copy and paste this into the voice generator. Give me 1 second. All right. So let's play the clip.
Last year, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Saul, who went from being over 300 pounds to now being in fitness model shape. And I was intrigued and saddened by one thing he told me. He said that as soon as he started getting healthier, the most surprising thing happened. At first, his friends and family cheered him on. "You're looking great, dude! Keep it up! That's amazing! You deserve it!" But once he started to look really good, once he got under 220 pounds, still a big guy for his height, people started acting differently. Suddenly, friends and family told him to start eating more because they were worried about him. Worried? He was still 220 pounds, and he wanted to be 180 pounds. He knew he was still at an unhealthy weight, and the people that once supported him and congratulated him now told him he was looking sickly. For a while, he couldn't shake the feeling, and it puzzled him why anyone would do that. But actually, he had a really important realization. He got a first-class lesson in something I call the bystander effect.
Right. And so if you take a look at here, take a look at his pic, bro. Take a look at that. Like, this is an amazing transformation. I love it, right? And so when you're here and when you're poor, right, a lot of times people will be like dogging on you. And then as you're kind of making some strides in your progress, this is where you are. This is probably where you'll be cheered the most, right? This is where you'll be like, yeah, you can do it. And then here it's like, bam, bam, right? It's when people won't like you at all, or people will do their best to avoid you, and they will not be inspired because that's just how human beings are, right? And the reason I make these videos is because I don't think there's a lot of material out there on the interwebs about what happens when you do become successful. And to be honest, my personality is I never really cared about being successful because I just want to stay home and play some video games. That's what I want to do. But when you realize that in order to make it into society, you need some money. Well, that's what you got to do, right? So, yeah. So, um, people will try to sabotage you, right? I don't want to read the whole thing because I don't want to make this a little bit Debbie Downer, but people will do that. Okay. All right. Well, this is Korean Atlanta mentorship. You know, Let me end with this. There have been people in my life where I met them and they said that they wow, like I could do so much to help. Like, thank goodness you're here. Like, you can you. I can't believe that you exist because uh I know like you'll be definitely able to help us, and then they never ask for help. Like, it kind of makes me sad, or it used to, but I was like, "Ugh." That's why you gotta kinda keep making videos because not a lot of people have the courage, and I know it's weird to say, like, have the courage to ask for help. They don't. They don't. Sad but true. Alright, well, that's it for today, everybody. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. Have a great day, and we'll speak next time.